together. Now, President Kennedy said, and I quote, "Our problems are man-made, and therefore they can be solved by man." Like the 1960s, America faces a plethora of problems. The United States today faces a broad range of challenges from both at home and abroad. Our economy has still not recovered to pre-recession levels, but we have seen significant gains in the last 4 years. We no longer have significantly large troop deployments in the Middle East, but we have not done enough to ensure that our troops are taken well care of here at home. And inequality between the rich and the poor has reached levels that hasn't been seen since the American Revolution. Some scholars are calling this the defining issue of our time. Now, although we have taken great strides in healthcare reform, there's still much to be done to ensure that each and every American can afford proper medical treatment. And abroad, there are terrorists, organizations, and nations that wish us ill. My administration intends to move us forward and to tackle these issues. Now, a little more than a month ago, I assumed the office of the president, and I thought long and hard what needs to be done during my administration. I have read and seen and reviewed bills from members of both parties, bills that your constituents at home want to see passed during this legislative session. Now, there are many issues that my administration and that the Democratic Party seek to pass and address. Now, for starters, campaign spending and finance has gotten out of hand. Corporations and the very wealthy now hold more influence and more sway over these elections than you or me. In Arkansas alone, over $29 million was spent in this state during our most recent midterms from outside interest groups. Members of both parties have addressed the need for serious campaign finance reform, and that is why I'm encouraging all of you to vote for Senator Jimmy Parker's Campaign Finance Reform Act. Now, today we live in an era of computers and technology. Online privacy and security is a very real concern for all Americans. That is why I'm supporting Senator Lois Freeman's Citizens Online Protection Act, because this act seeks to limit what employers and academic institutions can require of you to submit so you can be monitored online. I think this is something that we can all get behind as children of the internet age. My administration also seeks to bring on some social change. I'm sure many of us in this room have known someone who's been arrested for possession of marijuana, you know? Now, studies have shown that it is impossible. Studies have shown that it is impossible to overdose on marijuana. Meanwhile, alcohol and prescription drugs kill over 88,000 Americans each year. I find it absurd that we prohibit a plant that helps treat illnesses, makes movies and food taste better, and can be used to provide local tax revenue for our schools. That is why I want you to vote for Senator Chris Mikulski's Legalization of Marijuana Act. And guys, no matter how you try to frame it, America is a nation of immigrants. They have come here to work, to raise families, and to try to live the American dream. Now, contrary to popular belief, immigration helps fuel economic growth and helps us retain global talent. That is why I want you to support Senator Cindy Beltran's Undocumented Immigrants Education License Act, because immigrants who are educated and can gain skilled jobs can get in the workforce and can provide tax revenue and help support our growing economy. Now guys, we all know that Americans will pay any price to defend freedom. However, we have not done enough to help our returning soldiers from home. Like some of you, I've had family members and friends who have been deployed overseas. And it may be surprising to some, but each day here in America, over 22 veterans take their own lives. That is more veterans more Iraq and Afghanistan veterans have committed suicide than have been killed in combat in those last two military campaigns. We have to address this issue by funding more research for health programs for returning veterans, ensuring that the Department of Veterans Affairs is run efficiently and correctly, and that we are providing incentives to businesses that hire veterans. Now guys, the only way we can solve America's problems is if we work together and we compromise. I've watched members of both parties and their respective committees who have come to compromise and reach solutions instead of practicing brinkmanship. We should also remember that respect and civility is not a sign of weakness, but a symbol of strength. So in closing, let us begin anew and continue the work that America requires of us. And let us remember the words of the Master of the Senate, Lyndon Johnson. There are no problems we cannot solve together, but there are very few problems we can solve by ourselves. Thank you.